Hi everyone, welcome back to Hog Heaven Homestead. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Sandy, and today's St. Patrick's Day. I've got my green on, and this time of year we're making syrup. So we're about to go out and check the tap, so we're going to bring you guys along. Okay, we haven't done syrup for a couple of years now. We wanted to change up the system. We were using buckets before to collect and hoses and all of that, and it just seemed it got very cumbersome to clean them, to store them. Parts were breaking. Kevin wanted to switch over to the bag system, so let me show you what he's got going on here.
Yeah, so I just took a 2-inch PVC pipe, a Schedule 40 pipe, cut it 4 inches, and I put it in my table saw and made a little slot all the way around so that I could tie wrap these bags to it. Then you can buy these little PVC caps that sit on the top. Then I just created this on my drill press so that it'll fit over the tap. And it sits on there really nice. Easy to pour out, as you've just seen. I just pour it right through this and I don't have to remove the bag. Then at the end of the year we don't have to store all them buckets. We just get rid of the bags and buy new bags next year.
All right, next stop. What do you got? A little bit?
Yeah, it's not running real good yet. We had some pretty weird weather. Got really warm for a while, then it got really cold. And now this week we should have really good, pretty decent weather for it to start running again.
What does that mean?
Yellow.
Oh.
I'm gonna have to dump the whole thing.
Okay, the last couple that we've checked, it was either cloudy or slightly yellow, and so Kevin just dumped it out. That one is too, kind of yellow, so that means it's spoiled. So we don't want to keep that. Dump it out. But at least we're catching that now, because it should start running good this week and we'll get some fresh sap. And then we'll have to check it every day. right?
Yeah, I mean it rained too.
That one looked fine.
Yeah. Yeah, there's something to get this ice out of here though.
There you go. Well, those look pretty good.
Yeah, this tree produces the most. Doesn't look the greatest, but it does produce a lot of sap for me.
Oh, that's quite a bit. So, how full is it? About half full? Half full right now? Well, keep going. So for now, we're just storing this out in the snowbank until Kevin gets enough to cook it down. So the sap will run as long as it gets below freezing at night and then around 40 degrees during the day. Right, Kev?
Yeah, that's ideal.
But once it stops getting below freezing at night and warmer temps around 40 during the day, then it stops running, right?
Yeah, it doesn't run as good.
So that's where he'll store it for now. The cooker's over there behind him. But once we have enough to start cooking, we'll show you that process. Okay, so this is the second round that Kevin has boiled down. So he's going to kind of explain the procedure and how he does it. The first round, I think, how many gallons of sap did you boil?
26, I think it was.
And we ended up with
6 pints.
six
Little over 6 pints.
6 pints of syrup. So so this is his setup right here. It's made out of, is it all brick or
It's
how?
just cinder blocks. And then I have on the inside, I have fire bricks to kind of try to keep the heat in a little bit. And the fire bricks are just stacked on top of each other. I don't have them mortared in or anything. So I put a layer of fire block on the fire bricks on the ground, and then kind of line the inside of the cinder blocks with that best you can. Kind of keeps the heat in a little bit better.
Okay, so then
And then I just have, I don't know how many quarts these pans are. I think they're 12 quarts maybe.
yeah.
Not sure. But anyway, they're stainless steel pans, and then I have 3 of them. So the front one's kind of a warmer. Then the other 2, the middle one boils a little bit, and then the back one boils hard. So what I'll do is, as they boil down in the back, I'll move from here to that one, which I'm going to do right now anyway. So I just take just a pan. I take a scoop the sap out of this one, dump it in this one,
And you filter it.
and I filter it as I go. I mean, you might not have to. I just like to do that because it does get some stuff in there. And then take one out of this one and put it in the middle one. Sometimes two out of that one into this one because this one's also boiling down. I want to kind of keep it at a certain level.
Oh, I see. So if you're putting the cold right from the bucket into the first one, you're not cooling down your pans.
Yeah, so what happens is then you don't lose your boil in the back one. The back one's the main one. That one's the one that you're going to be moving everything into and then finally finishing it out of that one. That way you don't lose your boil on the back one.
Okay.
And it's not as important to, if you lose the boil on the middle one, it's not that big of a deal. It'll come back. But the back one is the most important one.
Okay. And then when the back one gets down, when you get it all down into one, then you transfer it to like a pot, right? And then bring it in the house.
I don't like to finish it out here just because it boils pretty hard out here. And you can lose it pretty fast. So what I like to do is once I get everything into the back pan, I'll boil that down to a level I think is about right. And then I'll take it out of that and put it into a pan that I'll bring into the house, a pot that I'll bring into the house and put on the stove and finish it in there.
Okay. And then when we get it to that point, we'll show you how we do it from there. Okay, so one more thing before we get on to the final boil. I noticed that you just have a small opening in the front and it's pretty much closed up other than the one brick you have on the below that opening with the two air holes or whatever.
I mean, I don't know. With this setup, so I do have this I can stick in here to close it up even more, but I've kind of noticed with this setup that I'm able to leave this open unless it starts getting too hot, and then I can throw this in there to kind of close that up. But this is where I put all the wood. And it seems to keep the boil going pretty good. The fire doesn't get too hot where it's boiling over by leaving this open. It seems to be airtight enough to where this is about the right amount of intake, and then the 6-inch pipe on the back is open too. I do have a dampener in there, but I don't use it really. I just leave that wide open and let the air enter here, and it seems to work pretty good.
Does that kind of slow the burning of the wood too, so you're not going through as much?
What?
Do you think just having as less air?
Well,
having
it is. I mean, you want to keep it burning pretty hot so you keep your boil going. But yeah, I mean, with it being more tight, you definitely go through less wood for sure.
And it's fully enclosed on the top here. The pan.
Yeah, the pans are down in, so they get hotter. So it boils a lot better with the whole pan down in the fire.
Right.
Instead of having it sit on top.
Yeah, it's a pretty good system. And, you know, it's not a permanent structure. We had thought about building a sugar shack around this, but you know, that takes time and money, both of which we don't have a lot of, so that will come in the future, no doubt. But this seems to be working good. What do you think, Marley? And the syrup, we tried it. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Absolutely. I mean, it's a lot of time and effort, but I don't know. I think it's worth it. I hope it's worth it. To you, Kev, do you think it's worth it?
Yeah, I mean, it's just one time a year, you know.
True.
A few weeks, you collect sap for a week, and then you boil it down for one day, and so it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. I know our kids are excited. We haven't done this for a couple of years, and they've been asking and asking, so.
So now, as you can see, we got all 3 pans boiling, so it's cooking down pretty fast now. And of course, this first pan here, I'm adding fresh to out of the bucket, which is cold, so it will stop boiling at some point, but the other 2 keeps going. So it's working pretty efficiently right now. Okay, so now actually I have this first pan empty. It's all over there now. And then I add water to this one because I can't leave a hole here, obviously, because that's where the fire is. So, and you can't just put the pan back in that hole without anything in it because it'll cause warping. It'll warp that pan pretty bad and get really hot. So I just add some regular water in there, and then when I'll do the same thing once this one's completely over here, I'll add water to this one, and then this one will be the only one going, and then we're done.
Okay, so we have the syrup in the house now. This is what it all boiled down to. So how many gallons of sap was that? Was it
28?
28 gallons of sap boiled down to this, and
Yeah.
It's finally ready to go. And how do we know for sure, Kev?
Well, there's a couple different ways. You can kind of check it with temperature, and the one temperature is about 223, and that's going to depend on your area, I think. Otherwise, more accurately, you can use a hydrometer, which is what I use.
Okay, so he's gonna take some of the syrup,
Put it in this tube. Gotta let it cool down just a little bit. It needs to be around according to my hydrometer, about 211.
Okay.
And then you just put the hydrometer in, and I let it float. Then it's really close. Right now it's at 55.
I don't see the numbers. Oh, there.
And it
55,
should
okay.
be about 50, 60 or so. I usually do it to about 57. So I mean, it's really close. We'll let it go a little bit longer, but basically that's what it is.
Okay, and then we will take it, and you can see the canning jars over there. We will can it. I've got some lids over here, hot, ready to go. We are gonna can it up, and then we'll be done. When jarring it up, we do run it through a double filter one last time and getting it into the jars, but it's a really nice dark rich color, and it tastes fabulous. All right, so the first two syrup boils are done. We ended up with 12 pints here, but we gave one to our daughter. That's how we bribe our kids to come up and visit their parents, is they get to take home a pint of syrup, which they love. And we have one in the fridge. So 14 pints for the first two boils of syrup. We're not done yet. We have some great weather coming up the next couple weeks. It should be running good. Here in Minnesota, I don't know what it's like in the rest of the country, but it needs to get down to below 0 at night and then up in around the 40s during the day in order for the sap to be running really good. So we've got that kind of weather coming for the next couple weeks. So hopefully we'll get a lot more syrup. It's a really nice, dark, rich color. The taste is absolutely fabulous. I don't know if we're going to sell any of this because it is just liquid gold in our eyes. We love it so much. But we might sell a couple of them at the farmer's market if somebody's really interested. We'll see. But that's it for this video. We'll continue to process more syrup, and we'll give you an update on Facebook on what our final count for the year. But thanks for following along on this video. We'll see you next time.